Hello everyone, my name is Queen and I'm a data analyst. Today, I will presenting the insights so far on staff planning for the influenza season. Let's start by discuss the motivation behind this analysis. As we know, the United States experienced an influenza season where the number of flu cases rise, leading to an increased demand for medical staff in hospitals and clinics. Our objective is to determine the optimal timing and staffing requirements for each state during this critical period. To serve this purpose, we will answer three main questions: when, where, and how many staff will be sent. To conduct this analysis, we utilize two main datasets. The first one is the CDC census of the US from 1209 to 2017, and the second is the data on influenza deaths by geography. The first question is, who are vulnerable groups? One of the key insights we gather from our analysis is the identification of vulnerable groups in terms of influenza-related fatalities. The graph clearly demonstrated that individuals who are 65 years old and above are the most vulnerable. This group have the most deaths caused by influenza. That leads to the second question: is there a relationship between age and influenza mortalities? When looked at more details of hypothesis testing, due to the high R-square value 0.88 and the moving upward of the trend line, it's important to know that there is a significant positive correlation between the number of reported death cases and the age of the population. This indicated that the older individuals are at a higher risk when it comes to flu-related fatalities. After identifying the vulnerable group in terms of influenza, we proceeded to examine their geographical distribution. Our goal was to determine if this group were uniformly spread across the country or concentrated in specific regions. The states of California, Florida, New York, Texas, and Pennsylvania have the highest proportion of elderly population. Compared with the second graph about influenza death distribution, these states also have the most death cases, and this trend remained unchanged throughout the year. If I choose the years of 2009, the top five states having the most elderly population and influenza deaths are California, New York, Pennsylvania, Texas, and Florida. This one. Then, if I choose the years of 2017, we can see that there is no change at all. The insight obtained from our previous visualization reveal that the elderly population in these states is more susceptible to influenza and its complications, resulting in a higher mortality rate compared to other states. Furthermore, we have an assumption that the more the population is concentrated, the more the case of flu because of the ease of transmission. We will examine the correlation between population density and the incidence of influenza cases. Although the population is concentrated mainly primarily in the eastern side of the U.S., including states of District of Columbia, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island, these states do not exhibit a high number of influenza-related fatalities. Through further analysis, we found no evidence of a relationship between population density and the severity of flu symptoms. The R-square is very low, under 0.05, we can say with 95% confidence that regions with higher population density will not necessarily experience a greater number of influenza cases. Consequently, sending staff to these states with the highest population would be unnecessary. In addition, we conducted a time-based analysis to determine the period with the highest influenza cases. Due to the intensive and intricate data, we divided the states into four census regions: Midwest, Northeast, South, and West. According to the data, the influenza season in the United States typically begins in the end of the fourth quarter and continue until the second quarters of the following year. The South region consistently report the highest number of influenza-related deaths, and this pattern remained consistent over the years. Predictions suggest that the peak of the next influenza season will occur in the first quarter of 2019. Based on our findings, we have already addressed who and where the vulnerable group is, and as well as the when is the influenza season. Using this information, we have devised an initial strategy to prioritize states with a higher percentage of elderly population. Our plans involves allocating staff resources specially for the influenza season, which typically starts in the December and lasts until the end of the month of the coming years. However, it's important to acknowledge the limitations of our analysis and consider the further steps. These steps include gathering additional data from previous staffing lengths to determine the appropriate number of the staff to send to each state. Additionally, it's crucial to assess the impact of vaccination rate on flu-related death. We have also observed that certain states, such as Alaska, Montana, and North Dakota, experience low winter temperatures but do not have a high number of influenza deaths. Investigate this relationship is essential to understand the factors that contribute to variation in influenza mortality rates across different regions. In conclusion, by understanding the vulnerable groups, their geographical distribution, and the seasonal patterns of influenza, we can make more informed decisions and ensure that adequate staff are available to treat patients during this critical period. Thanks for your attention. I'm now open to any question you may have.